We'll check back in with Mike Eppel down at 680 News for the latest in business news. And it looks like Disney has another hit on its hands, both in the theaters and on the stock market as well.
Yeah, indeed, Tammy. We're looking at this morning Disney shares up in pre-market trade by a couple of dollars, around 105 and change. The big question is, would Rogue One exceed expectations? I mean, you go into these big movie opening weekends with targets that the entertainment industry puts on dollars and cents. And it was supposed to do about 250 million in box office receipts worldwide, did close to 300 million, and the reviews have been good. So over the course of the next few weeks, expect this one to dominate at the box office. Cost about 200 mil to make, so they're already in the money for this movie, excluding marketing charges. But then it's all the spin-offs of anything related to Star Wars. You go into a toy store and it's just inundated with Star Wars merchandise, so expect that to be big on Christmas lists this year. And then you've got the theme parks and Disney planning a Star Wars world down in Orlando, in the next couple of years. So, I mean, it's all tied in, and this franchise, with a good performance by this movie, what other spin-offs can they come up with, not just in the actual numerical series that we're awaiting with Star Wars, the next one due in with the Skywalker saga continuing. So, yeah, Disney, Star Wars, that was a big purchase for that company a number of years back, and it has paid off handsomely on the bottom line. Ireland fighting back against the European Union decision earlier this year to slap Apple with a tax bill of $14 billion. The EU accused Ireland of being a tax shelter, basically, for big corporations. Starbucks caught up in this as well. Ireland saying that it will challenge that at the European Union Court. The EU has a 167-page document backing their claims up. So expect this one to be a story that will continue into 2017, and whether or not whether the companies or the country itself has to pony up any cash. We'll track Apple shares. They're down a little bit in pre-market trade this morning. Volkswagen meeting with U.S. regulators again today in San Francisco. It is deadline day to lay out the latest phase in the recuperation or payback to Volkswagen diesel car owners who have those vehicles with faulty emission readings. Volkswagen reportedly setting aside another $1 billion to cover extended U.S. claims, and this is just part of the worldwide recall, and whether or not they can actually fix those cars going forward. There are still some question marks about the actual fix to the diesel emissions regulatory rules going into 2017. So that's just sort of a carryover effect. Interestingly, VW's sales globally have been up in recent months. Nintendo shares down today 7%. The Super Mario Run on iPhone debut last week has failed to live up to expectations. A lot of analysts are questioning Nintendo's marketing on this and the $9.99 paywall that you face as soon as you hit level 3 on this game. It's certainly not the box office or blockbuster that Pokemon Go was. I think Pokemon Go was such a surprise to a lot of people that this Super Mario Run on iPhone was so well telegraphed that there wasn't any thing other than to live up to the expectations. And when that didn't happen, the stock is down now 16% in the past week. And this week on the markets, Tammy, busy week coming up. We've got inflation data, economic growth figures, earnings due from BlackBerry, Nike, and FedEx. The price for oil is starting things off above $52 a barrel, and the Canadian dollar is still languishing below 75 cents. And the Dow starts the week 157 points away from 20,000. That is easily doable between now and the Christmas break. We'll see how it goes. Back to you.
I think it's going to happen. All right. Thanks very much, Mike.